Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Hannah if you're new here, and if you've been following my channel for a little while, you might be a little confused about why I'm making this video. So as you may know, my husband now, he's in the Marines, and last February is when he went to boot camp, and so during that time I would film videos and stuff almost every week when he was gone, and just to try to help other people. And since then it's been really cool. I've gotten a lot more comments and emails from girls, and so I thought it would be a good idea to make a video where I answer the questions that I get asked the most, just because I thought that would be more helpful for everyone. So I took a lot of notes and I wrote everything down, and I have a few other things with me that I want to show you guys. So some of the, pretty much the most common question that I got asked was about the address and letters and stuff. So the way that you get your recruit's address, I think it's during the first week or so, they get a form letter and they fill it out with their name, and then that will get sent to the immediate family. So depending where you live, you'll probably get that around the second or third week that they're gone. That's the address that you will write them at. There's the Sandbox app, but I'm not extremely familiar with how that works. When Daniel went, there were two guys with the same name, so his mom just happened to pick him and had the right company. But I preferred to just write normal letters because the Sandbox ones were really expensive, and I preferred just writing them. So that's what I did. But yeah, you will get the address from the form letter around towards the beginning. It shouldn't take too long, and if you really want it before then, if you're able to contact his recruiter's office, sometimes they can give you the address as well. When Daniel went, he actually left, it was around some holiday, so maybe President's Day, because it was in February, and so the recruiter's office was closed. I remember we had to wait a little bit longer before his mom could go to the office and ask for his address. But that's how we got his address before the form letter got sent out, and I think there was a little difference between them. So if you can, I'll just wait to get the form letter and have his exact address, but there are kind of a few other ways to get it, but the best one to get is the one that's on the letter. Another top commonly asked question is, when will you get the first letter? And honestly, this really depends. So I believe they're able to start writing during the second week, but it really depends on a lot of things, I'm sure. So pretty much I usually tell people to expect the first letter anywhere between the 3rd and 5th week. I made a video when I got the first letter from Daniel, and I think it was around, he'd been gone for 3 weeks. I think it was around then. But then I remember when his brother Nathan was gone, the last September, no one got a letter from him until 4 or 5 weeks. So I would expect that ballpark. Some people don't get the first one till way later, and some probably get it earlier. So as much as you can, don't stress about it, because they're going through a lot of other things. So just focus on you writing your letters and being encouraging and supportive, and just that, and try to just focus on day-to-day things, and eventually you'll get the letters. And yeah, so actually I have all my letters here that I got from Daniel when he was gone. So I decided to number them on the back. You can see it. Ignore my nails, they're gross right now. But I numbered them in the back corner so that I could keep them. So I could keep them in the order that he sent them to me. And also he didn't know the date, so the date isn't on here. None of his letters, I didn't know when he was able to start writing them because they didn't have a date. But this says 24th February is when it was mailed out, so he probably wrote it on the 21st, which was about 10 days, I guess, after he would have started. So I got it, must have been sometime between the 2nd and 3rd week. Another question that I found was, how long will it be until your recruit receives the letter that you send them? That I'm not entirely positive, but I figured out how to tell how long it took for my letters to get from New York to South Carolina. So if you see on where they stamp it, it'll tell you the date that it was mailed out, and then whatever day you get it, that's the difference. So for us, it happened to be 3 days from up here to down there. So it took my letters 3 days to get to him and 3 days for his letters to get to us. So if you live closer or farther, I'm sure it will change depending on where you are, but that's how you can figure out how long it'll take. I honestly don't know if the Sandbox ones are quicker. I would kind of assume so, but then like they also are sent through the mail, so I really don't know a lot about that, but I know that some people really like Sandbox. Another thing that I wanted to address is the items that you can send to your recruit and the things that you shouldn't. So pretty much you shouldn't really send anything. There's really 3 things that you can send that'll be fine. So like the most important thing is you want to just keep your envelopes that you send the letters in white and just use blue or black ink. Don't use any colors, don't use any sparkles or glitter or perfume or lipstick, nothing like that. Just keep it scentless, colorless, make it just as discreet as possible. So with that said, like the only things that you should really send them, unless they specifically say, like my drill instructor said, you can send only, I would advise you to only send stamps, pre-addressed envelopes, and wallet size photos. I would just print off the photos from my phone or laptop to CVS and then cut them out and just send like 1 or 2 on a letter, because that keeps it really flat. It doesn't draw attention to the mail and they should get it no problem. Stamps also obviously come on like a thin piece of paper, so those don't draw attention either. And if you want to send multiple pre-addressed envelopes, which would just mean that you already fill out the information so that they can send you letters back quicker, I would get, so like this is like the standard size that they send, and the ones that they send have the little EGA at the top. But if you get like a business size one or whatever, they're like this long, you can fit a bunch of these in there, and it also is fine, it won't draw attention. In one of my videos I did mention that I was gonna send like a big yellow folder, and I did do that, and Daniel did get like called out and kind of in trouble for that, like he had to read the stuff out loud. So I would advise not doing that at all. Like literally don't send anything. I've heard like stories about parents who sent like a jar of peanut butter or something, and whoever's kid it was, they had to literally eat the whole jar and stuff like that. So sometimes though, like in the beginning they will usually be sick, so if they get permission to say, to like write home and say you can send cough drops or something, then do that, but only if your recruit gives you the all clear, because otherwise it could be really bad. As long as your letters don't draw attention, nothing should happen to the mail. Like it shouldn't really be tampered with or anything. As long as it's not drawing attention, they most likely will not need to read it out loud or be harassed about it. So that's another reason to like keep it very simple and plain, or simple, like just keep your envelope, keep everything plain, and it should just be fine. So I've also gotten some questions about family day and graduation. I did make a couple of videos about that, I believe, so I can like link those up or in the description. And then I also made a video when we went to Nathan's graduation of kind of the whole day, or the 2 days, like how that worked. So I won't go into too much detail unless people really have a lot of questions, but I do want to say, like when it comes to graduation and family day too, get there early. You want to be able to get a good parking spot and then also be able to get good seating. For family day, that's usually not as big of a deal because I feel like more people come to graduation than family day. But then for graduation, if you're able to know ahead of time, if your recruit has like a sister company, I think is what it's called, like if there's a male and female company both graduating, that will usually tend to be a larger group since there's more people. For Daniel's graduation, it was just his company, and they were like really small for some reason, so that was like not normal. And when his brother Caleb went, he had a sister platoon or sister company or whatever, so there was a ton of people then. And with Nathan, so when we went, we like went early, and we had to sit on the side for his graduation instead of like in the front main seating that they have, which is fine, like you can still see everything, but I remember there were just people everywhere like standing. So if you can, like get there as early as possible. There's also no limit to how many people can come to these graduations. Whoever wants to come can go. My advice for when you're at Paris Island for a family day and graduation is to just kind of like take it in, let your crew show you guys what he wants to show you. Between the moto run and them getting released for family day, there's a few hours in between. So when we went for Daniel's graduation, I was with his siblings and we went to the library, I think, or museum. It wasn't a library, the museum or whatever it was that was there, and it was really fun to look at. And when we were there, we also got a copy of that day's newspaper, which I don't remember where, but somewhere in here it like has a list of all the new Marines. So if you're kind of a keepsake person, or even just want to see your recruit's name in the newspaper, I would highly recommend trying to get to the museum. We got there pretty early. I remember they were like just opening and newspapers had just gotten delivered, and I didn't even know to be looking out for that. So that was really cool that we just happened to be there and we got the newspaper. And I think they have newspapers at other places around Paris Island, like outside of that area, like in Beaufort and stuff like that. So if you can get a newspaper, I would definitely do that. There's like two more questions, or one thing I just wanted to say was that Daniel was able to call. He won phone calls home, which I didn't even know they could do, and I did make a video about this. And I got a call from California. So I live in New York, so I was like just assuming it was a telemarketer or something, so I didn't answer it. I remember I was also in college, like I was in the middle of my class, so I didn't answer it, and I like regret it to this day. I wish I would have answered it, but I had no idea. So if you get a phone call from an unknown number and your recruit is in boot camp, I would just answer it because you never know. And then after they complete the crucible, they change the matrix from what it used to be, so now they have like a week or two of being new Marines before graduation, before they see their family. So if I remember correct, the crucible started whatever day. I really don't remember. I want to say like Thursday or something. Like if you're going through this, you know. So whatever day it starts, and then it ends 72 hours later. And so I believe Saturday they had Liberty, and then the following week on Sunday, I believe, is when they had Liberty. So they are able to purchase a phone and call home if they want to. If you're on Facebook pages and stuff, I'm sure you see like a million posts about it. So it really just depends on what they choose to do with their time. But if you write them ahead of time, or they've somehow talked to you through a letter about that, then that's something to just be aware of. When it comes to keeping yourself busy and trying to get through the 3 months as quickly as possible, for some people it works better to just get through day by day. And then one of my friends, she said that her advice would be to take it week by week. For her, it felt like every day, like just going day by day, felt like it took so much longer. So if you go week by week, that might help you, like your mentality, to get through it quicker. If you watch any of my older videos, I used to write out calendars, and I'd cross off every day. So by the time you're like halfway through and like towards the end, it just, you can like visually see how much time has gone. And then also every day you're like crossing off the day, and it's like, we got through this day, like that kind of thing. So that was like a good mental thing for me. My best advice for staying busy is really to just stay busy. If you're in school, focus as much as you can. I know I struggled with school the spring semester that Daniel was gone. I didn't want to be there anyway. So if you're passionate about school and you like know what you want to do, that will really be more beneficial than if you were like me and didn't know what you want to do, so you didn't want to be there anyways. But anyway, focus on school, focus on your homework, classes, doing the best work that you can. If you're working or able to work as much as you're allowed to work. Find a new hobby, maybe start getting up earlier, start doing something so that you have different goals that you can work towards, and you have things to accomplish that you can share with him when he's all done. Get involved at your church, get involved with your community, make sure you hang out with your friends, talk to people about how you're feeling. A lot of times, I know I did, and several other people, you kind of have to go through it alone. There's not always someone whose boyfriend is at boot camp, and a lot of people can't relate. So even if people can't relate, try to still like hang out with people so you're not alone. But at the same time, if you need your space, make sure you take it. Allow yourself to feel sad, kind of discouraged, but don't let yourself stay down for too long. Staying positive will help a lot, but I know sometimes it's not easy to be positive. So I understand that. And you don't need to try and make it seem like the whole thing is happy and easy, because it's not. So just do what's best for you and like your emotions, and however you need to process that, make sure you do it. Like whatever you do, don't keep it inside. If writing it down, if talking to someone, exercising, whatever it is, whatever works for you, make sure you do that, because you'll feel a lot better and you'll be able to be a more supportive girlfriend or sister or mom or whatever to your recruit who's going through training and needing that encouragement. So yes, just stay writing your letters, prepare for graduation. And the last thing I want to say is just not to put any expectations on either of you after graduation. Like during that 10-day leave, it can be a really kind of difficult phase to try to understand the emotions that he might be feeling and the emotions that you might be feeling. So don't put any expectation on how you think it's gonna go or how you want it to go. Just go there and live in the moment, take it all in, process it. For me, it didn't really sink in right away. It took some time, so that might be you too. Like, don't worry, just breathe and just enjoy being there. You've both made it through a lot, and like, it's so good when it's finally over. So just remember that the 3 months will be over before you know it, even though there are days when it doesn't feel like it. And just be as encouraged as possible that you staying strong and positive is going to help your recruit a ton. So the only other thing that I want to show you guys before I end this video is all of the letters that Daniel got, and they're in 2 gallon-sized bags. So yeah, those are all the letters that got sent to him from family and friends, which I think is awesome. So if you have a support system for your recruit that is able to do that, then do it, because I feel like that would just make a world of difference. It'll help them. It really is like the only really positive thing they have to look forward to. But I believe that answers pretty much everything. I think that's like everything I want to say. I hope this video was really helpful for you guys. Thank you so much for watching. If you have other questions, feel free to comment them down below. Send me an email. I'll leave my email in the description. But if you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe if you'd like to follow along on my life now. So I just wanted to make this video to help you guys. So I hope it was helpful and insightful. And yeah, if I miss anything, please let me know. But I hope you guys have an awesome day. Bye!